Spurs guard Dylan Harper ruled out for remainder of Game 2 against the Thunder with a right leg injury. San Antonio's guard leaves during the second half of Game 2 against the Thunder with a right leg injury, and the team announced that he will not return. Harper, the number 2 overall pick in the 2025 NBA draft, started in place of the injured De'Aaron Fox and scored 12 points on 5 for 12 shooting in 25 minutes. Thunder star Jalen Williams leaves Game 2 early with hamstring tightness. OKC's guard, who missed 6 games earlier in the playoffs with a strained hamstring, was ruled out for the second half of Game 2. Oklahoma City, AP. Thunder guard Jalen Williams, who missed 6 games earlier in these playoffs with a strained left hamstring, was ruled out for the second half of Game 2 of Oklahoma City's matchup against the San Antonio Spurs in the Western Conference Finals on Wednesday night. The reason? Another hamstring problem, which the Thunder called tightness. Williams appeared to be getting treatment on the hamstring during the first half, then left the bench area and did not play in the second quarter. Television footage showed him walking toward the locker room holding a large wrap on the back of his left leg. Cason Wallace started the second half in Williams' place, and the Thunder announced that Williams wouldn't return not long afterward. Thunder coach Mark Daigneault said Williams would be evaluated on Thursday. He's gonna get checked out, Daigneault said after Oklahoma City's 122-113 win that evened the series at a game apiece. I don't deal in hypotheticals, especially when doctors are involved. We'll see where he's at. We'll update him accordingly. Williams returned for Game 1 of the Spurs series, scoring 26 points in 37 minutes on Monday night in Oklahoma City's 122-115 double overtime loss. He had 4 points in 7 first-quarter minutes Wednesday, including an alley-oop dunk with 2:12 left in the period. Game 3 of the series is Friday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, NBC/Peacock in San Antonio. Williams missed 55 of the Thunder's first 91 games this season, entering Wednesday, including playoffs. Of those absences, 19 were for a right wrist issue, and the other 36 were related to his hamstrings, the right one costing 30 games during the regular season, the left one costing him 6 most recent 6 during the playoffs.
3 things to watch in Knicks-Cavaliers Game 2. James Harden's defense and more playing time for Landry Shamet are 2 things to watch in Game 2 of the East Finals. New York. When the New York Knicks lost last year's Eastern Conference Finals in 6 games, one had to wonder if things would have been different if the Indiana Pacers didn't pull off a miraculous comeback in the fourth quarter of Game 1. The Knicks led by 17 with a little more than 6 minutes left, but then saw Aaron Nesmith go 6 for 6 from three-point range in the final 5 minutes and Tyrese Halliburton make a game-tying shot that bounced 20 feet in the air before dropping through the net. The Knicks themselves pulled off a similarly miraculous comeback in the fourth quarter of Game 1 of this year's Eastern Conference Finals, coming back from 22 points down with a little less than 8 minutes left and beating the Cleveland Cavaliers in overtime. And one has to wonder if those 8 minutes will be what ultimately determines which one of these teams go to the finals. The Cavs certainly hope not, and they won their last series after losing the first 2 games on the road. But winning 4 of the next 6 games against the Knicks, who've now won 8 straight, will be the Cavs' toughest task of the season.
2026 Coaching Tracker. Who's out? Who's in? Keep track of the coaching changes in the NBA since the conclusion of the 2025-26 regular season. Here's a quick rundown of every NBA team that has made a coaching change since the end of the 2025-26 regular season. Dallas Mavericks, out Jason Kidd. Orlando Magic, out Jamal Mosley. Milwaukee Bucks, out Doc Rivers, in Taylor Jenkins. New Orleans Pelicans, out Willie Green, interim coach James Borrego. Borrego took over for Green on November 15th, in Jamal Mosley. Isaiah Hartenstein stays true to his game, helps spark Game 2 victory Wembanyama perfectly as the Thunder forge a 1-1 series tie. Oklahoma City. A box score doesn't reveal everything. But as Oklahoma City Thunder coach Mark Daigneault perused the box score from San Antonio's Game 1 double overtime victory on Monday, a number gnawed at him. Isaiah Hartenstein's minutes played. It doesn't feel good playing Hart 12 minutes, Daigneault conceded. It just didn't feel good to me. Daigneault pulled Hartenstein aside at practice on Tuesday. He kind of apologized, but it was more like, hey, just be ready. Your number's going to be called more, and we're going to try to do something different, Hartenstein explained. Hartenstein played 27 minutes in Game 2 on Wednesday, and his offensive and defensive contributions, especially guarding Spurs star Victor Wembanyama, were crucial to the Thunder's 122-113 victory, tying the Western Conference Finals at 1-1. Hartenstein had 10 points, 13 rebounds, including 8 offensive rebounds, 3 assists, and spent important minutes engaged with Wembanyama, trying to make him work as hard as possible. Wembanyama still put up statistics: 21 points, 17 rebounds, 6 assists, and 4 blocks.
Wolves will be as aggressive as possible this summer in trying to improve. Minnesota's president of basketball operations, Tim Connolly, is promising to be aggressive about trying to improve the team this summer. The message to the Minnesota Timberwolves from the championship tier of the NBA has been delivered clearly and forcefully with their elimination from the playoffs 3 straight times. You're not there yet. Nobody was listening more carefully than Tim Connolly. We have a lot of confidence in our guys, but it would be disingenuous to sit in front of this group and say we're happy with the 6th seed. We're happy with not being a home court playoff team. We're happy that our last 3 closeout games have been lopsided, the Timberwolves president of basketball operations said. We have to be realistic about what we have, which is way more good than bad, but we know that we're not good enough right now. The San Antonio Spurs ousted the Timberwolves last week, taking the second-round series with a 30-point win. Last year, the Oklahoma City Thunder beat the Timberwolves in 5 games in the Western Conference Finals on the way to the NBA title, finishing that series with a 30-point victory. The Timberwolves were beaten in 5 games in the 2024 Western Conference Finals too by the Dallas Mavericks when they still had Luka Doncic. They lost the clinching game that year by 21 points. Now the Spurs and Thunder have begun what could be a conference final for the ages. 2 young teams with mental toughness, defensive acumen, and a superstar player. So how can the Timberwolves catch up to that? Some of the improvement effort will come from within, be it expanding roles for young players or new responsibilities for established starters. And some of the actions toward trying to keep up with the Western Conference powers will come from the outside. Bleacher Report! LeBron shares timeline for NBA free agency and retirement decision as to whether he will be returning to the NBA. Los Angeles Lakers star LeBron James said he intends to wait until later in the summer to make a decision as to whether he will be returning to the NBA after hitting free agency this offseason. I'm still in the moment of just taking my time. I haven't even really thought about it too much, James told Steve Nash around the 12:40 mark of Thursday's Mind the Game podcast. Obviously, I understand that I'm a free agent, and I can control my own destiny, if being here with this franchise for the foreseeable future, or it's going somewhere else. But I haven't really even gotten to that point. I haven't even taken my family vacation yet, which is going to happen after Memorial Day. That's kind of the thing at the forefront of my mind. James continued, I think at some point, up in June, late June, as July rolls around, free agency gets going. As July's rolling maybe into August, we start to kind of get a feel of what my future may look like. If it's continuing to play the game that I love, which I know I can still give so much to the game and play at a high level, or if it's not. But I have not gotten to that point yet.